Hello! So today I will be showing you how I did my own current fill. This was about already, I think a week and a half ago. I'm just kind of horrible with editing the videos at least 3 days within the time that I took them. But anyways, I clipped off 4 out of 5 of my nails because I felt like they were a little too over, because I'm practicing, I'm self-taught. I practice on myself. So over time, I noticed any filing or shaping mistakes that I didn't see before, because at the time I thought they were fine. So that's why I clicked off 4 out of 5 of them. The pinky, it was already how I would do it anyways, and there was no lifting. So I just left the pinky as is. It was straight. My middle finger and my ring fingers are pretty crooked. So that's why I always start over myself anyways. So I am removing the old design and filing down the rest of the product. I will leave a thin layer because I'm just going to be using forms on myself. I find that using forms on myself is a lot easier than gluing tips because I don't know, my nails are not flat. They kind of have a curve, but my nails don't grow in a curve. It's strange, but I just like using forms on myself. So I'm just filing down the rest of this product. I'm using a ceramic bed, and I'm going at about maybe 12,000 RPMs. I think I gotta take better mental note. And I am removing the rest of the, not the rest of the product. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm removing the rest of the surface shine, just in case there was any, especially on the outgrown part of my nail, because as it grew out, it's exposed nail. So I'm removing any shine, and also starting to remove any yucky stuff that we don't want under our product that'll cause our beautiful nails to lift prematurely. So that's what I'm doing here, and I do it to all my nails. I also, with my sanding band, I'm going at about 5,000 RPMs, by the way. With my sanding band, I'm also removing any leftover lifting or minor lifting that could be, removed or sanded off with the sanding band. So you don't have to press so hard or worry about with your carbide bit or whatever you're using. You don't have to worry so much about burning the client. You could just go, once you get it thin enough, you could just go back down with the sanding band, because you're gonna use it anyways to remove the shine. So that's what I do. But when you see a stubborn lifting, I like to go in heartbeats. Obviously, if you have to linger over a certain spot, I just do small little heartbeats, and I keep asking them, "Are you okay?" If it's not coming up, I'm "Are you good? Tell me if it gets hot. Do you feel any burning?" Just check in with them. Be on the same page. And then with this cuticle bit, I recently discovered, and I know it's going to sound weird because I'm sure everybody already knows, but everyone learns at their own pace, right? So I discovered that I can buff off dead skin with most cuticle bits, and I did not know that before. So especially these long ones, so that's what I've been doing. Instead of using my cuticle nippers, I've been trying to buff it off instead, and I noticed it does give the skin a much cleaner, polished look. And obviously, and that's not what you, I'm not going to say that's what you want to go for, but obviously that's nice to have your fingers look really nice and smooth and manicured. So not that I'm completely ditching the cuticle nippers. If you need them, you need them, but I just, for practice sake, I was just doing that on myself. And it doesn't burn either. If you linger on a spot for, oh, I hit my camera. Well, I noticed on myself, at least, it didn't burn. So I thought that was really cool. So I'm cleaning under my cuticle skin in forward direction right now, and at the same time buffing off skin and smoothing out any rough skin, because my hands can get pretty dry. And I did that in reverse mode as well. I just didn't show it for some reason, but I did in forward and reverse mode. And now I am dehydrating my nails with acetone. I have a pumper bottle of acetone, and alcohol, but to dehydrate, I always get my manicure brush, and I pump the acetone into the bristles and dehydrate my nails that way, or the client's nails as well. and I applied my Mia Secret non-acidic primer. And since I'm using forms on myself today, I'm going to apply my base gel first to all the nails. The 4 nails that I took off, I'm applying it through the whole nail because the base gel that I did leave at the tips of my real nails is really thin. So for, why not have better adhesion? So I just decided to put it over the whole nail. But if it was like a simple fill, like my pinky nail right there, you just need to put the base gel over the exposed nail. You don't have to put it down all the way to the tip. That's just, you just don't have to do that. And now I'm going in with my first form. I found it easier to apply the forms one by one. I used to put all 5 forms on at once, but I noticed that like sometimes you hit your finger on something, or you hit the form on something, and over time it just starts getting like a little loose. Like it's just, whether you're a client or you're doing it on yourself, I just find like it just starts to like pop off. Like at least the first one that you put, it just starts to come off. So it's just much easier to fit the form on one by one. That way when you work, when that finger comes out of the lamp, because you cure one by one too, when that finger comes out of the lamp, you take the sticker off and then apply the sticker on the next finger. So it's just easy. It's just a lot easier that way. Because if you don't do that way, then you're readjusting the forms every now and then it just takes time. It eats your time. So I'm just building my free edge. I'm going for a I would consider this short. I would consider it medium length. So I'm doing a medium pointy almond on myself today. I do that all the time because I love this shape. I feel like the shape is very, very feminine in a way. I don't know why. Not that coffin and stuff is not feminine. I don't know. Maybe because it makes the nails look slimmer, or the fingers. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's just a pretty shape. I really like this shape. So I did that to all 4 nails, cured one by one, and then removing the form after each cure. And then after I remove the form, I remove the tacky layer very carefully though, because the nails are super thin right now, so you don't want to break it off. And I like to regain the shape because it's like super clear, so I can't always like see, if anything extra or whatever is coming off on the edges. So I just always wipe off the tacky layer when I'm using forms. When I wipe off the tacky layer, regain my form. So when I apply my product, I'm not wasting any product, because why put product on, let's say the ends, they were too wide in the beginning, right? When I took off the form, they were too wide. Why put product there that you're going to end up filing away, and it's going to be difficult to file away because it's going to add thickness. So like I said, it eats your time. And then I remove the all the dust and stuff. I clean off my nails with alcohol, with my manicure brush pumped with the alcohol. And product sticks to product, so you don't have to worry about the gel. Like if you're using hard gel, you don't have to worry about not having that adhesion layer. But if it really does bother you, you can do another thin base layer, like I did in the beginning before my forms, and cure that, and then that way you have that sticky adhesion. But product sticks to product, so don't even worry about it. And when it comes to building my nails, I also cure that one by one. So I built my thumb, I cured it. You could do a flash cure, like a 30-second cure, and then that way it's not moving around, and then go to the next finger. So I do the wet layer first, which you just saw me you just brush it on. Then I grab my bigger bead, and I start building the nail. And when it comes to hard gel, because of that wet layer is going to tell the gel where to go. So don't worry about building. Don't focus so much on the side walls. Focus on the center, because that's where the strength is. The nail, if the side walls are thinner, it's going to give the illusion of a super thin nail, but it's still really strong. Like my nails, I like to experiment on my own hand. I do them a little thinner than I would on a client, because I want to see just how strong I can make them and how thin I can go, so to keep that strength. So if you notice, I'm only I'm going to the sides a little bit, but I'm mainly focusing on the center. And if something needs to be dragged to the sidewall, then you drag it. But I don't do that towards the end because the wet layer is going to attract the gel to the sidewalls anyways. By the time you finish building the nail and by the time you get into the lamp, it's going to flow there. And so I cure each nail one by one, flash cure, and then I put my hand back in for a full minute to have it do the full cure, wipe off the tacky layer, and begin my shaping. I don't really have a specific order, but I notice that I always do sidewall, and well, if there's a free edge, but the sidewall is making my free edge in this case, so I don't really need to focus so much on that. But when it comes to like coffin or something like that, then yeah, sidewall, free edge. And usually I use my fine ceramic bit to go back over the whole nail and sculpt it that way to save a little time on filing. But in my case, for this filler, my application was pretty, like, really good, so I don't do what you don't have to do. Like for instance, if you're filing your nails and you filed over the entirety of, let's say, 4 nails, and let's say 1 nail was actually like really like pretty smooth, like it was good, like good to go, like all you had to do was buff, then don't file it, just buff it. Like, don't file what you don't need to. Don't file just because the other hands or the other fingers are filed. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm using my hand file because there's no need to go get my drill bit, my ceramic bit, because I would take away too much and I would file away what I don't need to be filed away. So my hand file is just fine for this set. I'm slashing the sidewalls. I like to use that word, slashing, I don't know why. But I slash the sidewalls to start contouring the nail. And after my sidewalls are contoured, then I go over the entirety of the nail to make sure everything's evened out, and like that's when you'll notice any little dips or potholes, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, so as you can see from my other 4 nails that I've already filed, they're very even. They're flush to each other. My cuticles it's flush to my cuticles. It's not too bulky. And I remember having a big problem with trying to make the product by the cuticle as smooth as possible, but that's just something you learn over time. And I also realized that using my diamond barrel bit, those barrel bits that come in those little square packages with every single drill that you buy, like it's like one of the basic ones that you get, that makes a great buffer for e-file buffers. That makes a great buffer. And I realized that after I bought my crosscut diamond barrel bit to do exactly this, to buff, but then I realized, oh man, I only have one and I have an appointment soon, and it's dirty. What if I felt too lazy to disinfect it? So I just thought to try using this to buff it, and it worked out so good. My nail, and it's really good to go back close to the cuticle, but also you want to hold it like flat to the nail. You don't want to hold it at an angle where the top edge is pushing down on your cuticles. You don't want to put pressure there, because then you're going to start lifting. If you're putting too much pressure by your cuticle, it's going to lift. And now I'm removing all the dust by, again, using alcohol because I was too lazy to go rinse my hand. And these are my nails. I love them. I love how thin they are, because that just shows me how strong they can be. And I did this like about almost 2 weeks ago. And my nails are still going strong. So that's pretty exciting, seeing like how thin I can make my nails and knowing that they're still very strong. And I usually do not do color on myself because I like staying very neutral, like with a milky white or nude pink builder gel. I stay to the color of the builder gel. Basically, I like to stay very neutral. But I really love this chestnut or acorn color. It was so beautiful, and so I had to try it on myself. And one of my clients said that it looked like a pumpkin spice color, and I was like, oh my god, you're right. So whatever you want to call it, chestnut color, pumpkin spice, it's so pretty. So, but I do get a little shaky when I apply color, and I'm sure that's completely normal. So if you're having trouble with that, like you don't want to get on the skin, obviously it's completely normal. But my advice is apply the first layer very thin. So that way when you're applying the color, like let's say like you're applying it like too thick, like you have a lot of paint on your brush, if it touches the skin, obviously it's gonna be like a glob, right? It's gonna be a small glob, but when you wipe it off with anything, it's gonna spread. It's gonna leave like a streak. And of course, yeah, you could keep taking it off, but while you're taking it off, the rest of it's probably starting to slide or like go into the skin too, because it's really close to the cuticles, and it's just it's stressful. It makes you very anxious. So if you apply it really thin and you get on the skin, all you're gonna get on the skin is a smear, and that's so easy. That's so much easier to wipe off than a glob, because a glob is, it'll leave a streak when you wipe it. A smear, it's not. It's just a smear. You just take it off and it's off. I hope that makes sense. I hope. So I did 2 coats of that, curing in between. And for my butterfly stickers, I'm staying to similar tones. So I'm just getting like brown butterflies, tan butterflies. I'm not using the blues or the yellows or anything, just browns. And with stickers, you want to wipe off the tacky layer that the gel polish or whatever leaves behind, because otherwise the stickers are just gonna be sliding around, and obviously you don't want that. You want it to stay where you put it. So I put stickers on my thumb, my middle finger, and my pinky. And I think after this, because it's a sticker, with stickers and foils, you double coat. You can either do a thin, to encapsulate, you could do a thin coat of Builder Gel and then top coat, or you could do double top coat. And these are my beautiful nails. I did white little starbursts on them. And I just love them. I love this color, and I got a lot of compliments on them. So I'm very happy with this. And thank you guys for watching.